Welcome to the fifth and final main part of the Raw Resume Writing a Winning Resume series. There is one bonus section after this if you want to check it out, all about applicant tracking system, which is a good idea to check out. But for now, we're going to look at finishing off your resume by really making a clean and attractive design. So, here's, I bet you see them all the time on the web. You see these super fancy resumes. These can be okay for certain positions, okay? Certain illustration or designing positions, not the worst idea. It can show your creativity. But at the same time, you really don't have to go this fancy and make an infographic resume is what they're called. If you want to check them out, just Google that. What you want to do is just keep it simple, keep it professional, and keep it easily readable. Okay, and there's three main concepts we're going to be looking at. The first of it, which is space. Okay, so just looking at this picture, space can alter your perception of different things, and it's really important to have white space, spread around, and keep all the sections nice and separated and easy to read. Second principle that we're looking at is balance. Okay? And balance is basically, you don't want something like this left one where, everything's on the left side. Okay, that's just a waste of space, and you're just cramming things in there basically. So you see these red lines, this is called the 4-quadrant test. So you should do this on your resume, and what you basically want to see, draw lines in the middle each way. You want to see them relatively equally distributed. They don't have to be perfectly distributed, but you should have a decent amount of balance. So this right one is a pretty well balanced one. About the same amount in all of these, and a little less here, but not too bad. So you want balance, you want good white space. This also has decent white space. It could maybe use a bit better spacing in between these sections. This isn't necessarily a perfect resume, just a random sample that I put. Okay, and then finally, not much to be said about this. Be consistent, okay? Use the same type of font for each subheading. Use the same bolding, the same italics, the same order of jobs and companies and date or whatever you're doing. Just be consistent. And what that basically does is it helps the reader know what to expect and read your resume faster. So when you're making your resume, you want to pay attention to all those concepts. You also need to pick a good font. Okay, typically there's no reason to pick anything super fancy. You can pick a serif font, which just check out this picture. A serif is basically these little hooks on the end there and on the sides of the top. Serif font is the best when you read on paper. So if they print it out, it's good to have a serif font. Now, sans serif fonts do not have these hooks, so they're straight, and they're basically optimized for web reading. So, it's best if they're looking at your resume online. So there's not a huge difference, but it's typically best just to pick one of the most popular fonts. Times New Roman or Georgia for a really nice serif font. If you want to go sans serif, you can go Arial, Calibri, Verdana. These are the safe choices. There's a few more. You really don't need to get too complicated. The font may, try a few different fonts out that are fairly professional looking but highly readable. See how they look on your resume and pick one. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so last section of design is really about, do you need an original resume or can you buy a template? There's a lot of both free and paid templates that you can buy. Obviously, the paid ones are less used overall, so if you want to keep a unique resume, it's not a bad idea to do that. You can definitely use a template, but if you do one, like if you type in Microsoft Word templates and you go to their official site, the ones at the top are going to be used by pretty much everyone, like really widely used. And you definitely don't want to have the exact same template as other people. It's okay to look a bit similar, but you want to stand out a little bit. So you can either pick a common one like that and modify it, or I do recommend going for a more custom solution. So you may have to buy, they're not expensive, like a few bucks usually. There's tons of sites that sell really nice templates. And as far as an original goes, you can definitely make an original resume, as long as you can do basic things in Microsoft Word. You can find tutorials on how to, design your own resume in Microsoft Word or Photoshop or whatever you want. So, just think of your options and pick one. So that's really all there is to it. If you incorporate all that, you're going to have some killer content. It's going to look professional, balanced, good spacing and all that. And it's going to get attention of a hiring manager, and it's going to keep it as they read through it. So there's one more section, bonus section, if you want to check it out, all about ATSs and best practices for applying online.